second hand unwind. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you, I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you, I'll be waiting. Time after time.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
After my picture fades and darkness has turned to gray, watching through windows, you're wondering if I'm okay.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 6 minutes after 8 o'clock.
From deep in
Time to get the show on the road.
the drum beats out of time. If you're lost,
It is the Chris Whilby Show.
you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you, I'll be waiting. Time after
Oh, yes, yes, yes. The date is November 11th, November 10th, rather. 2022, November 10th, 2022. And yes, we are live, we are here, and we are rocking. Stand by. Be on camera shortly.
you said go slow, I fall behind. The second hand unwind. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you, I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Caribbean vibes. Yeah. The first time I hear Caribbean vibes, I just had to stay. I had to put a golden crown on Caribbean vibes, and I know they don't understand the way Caribbean vibes play. I know they should understand that the champion is here to stay. Caribbean vibes, they cannot play like you. They wanna play like you, that's true. Caribbean vibes, they cannot play like you. Wanna play like you. Play the way you do. They all wish on the stars above, just to get Caribbean vibes love. But dreams are made to come true. Dream, that's all they out there can do. And I don't wanna stay away, 'cause it's positive vibes today. And I know I don't wanna stay away, I just positive songs I play. Caribbean vibes, they cannot play like you. They wanna play like you, that's true. Caribbean vibes, they wanna play like you. Cannot play like you. Play the way you do. Ooh, yeah. Caribbean vibes are play. Ooh, yeah. Night and day. Stratus representing for Caribbean Vibes Radio. Chris and Simone. Stay safe.
Just imagine being a viewer of Fox News today after weeks of being promised one.
Be an analyst for a second. Does it feel like a red wave?
It feels like a red wave, Brian.
You know, your predictions of a red wave are accurate.
Somebody made a surfboard, said the red wave is coming.
Red wave rising.
That red wave that I'm convinced is coming.
The reports I'm seeing show a big red wave coming.
Sleepy Joe just guaranteed a red wave in Pennsylvania.
There's a lot of energy on the ground. You probably hear the rally in the background right now. We think we're going to have a big red wave in Michigan.
Wow.
Democrats are bracing for the worst case scenario, a red tsunami.
We are officially on a red tsunami watch.
Sean, we're going to see a red tsunami.
Red tsunami grows.
That means red tsunami.
And we're not just going to see a red wave. We're going to see a red tsunami.
Poverty, joblessness, critical race theory, crazy gender ideology in our schools. We are going to see a red tsunami.
And lastly, your prediction for tonight.
I think we're going to have a red wave. I think it's going to be maybe bigger than anyone thought.
On Tuesday, we will be part of a big red wave that says enough is enough.
Up next, Elon Musk ready to ride the big red wave.
Elon Musk tweeted massive red wave.
Massive red wave.
Massive red wave.
Massive red wave.
You're about to see a red wave that makes day after tomorrow look like nothing.
That's going to be responsible for the red wave. I think the red wave that's coming is going to be like the elevator doors opening up in The Shining.
Rogan said that the red wave is going to look like the elevator doors opening and the blood pouring out of the elevator in The Shining.
Like the elevator doors opening up in The Shining.
That is correct, except it's not going to be an elevator. It's going to look more like Deep Impact, the tsunami at the end, but colored red.
Remember that Taya Leone Deep Impact disaster movie? That's the red wave tsunami that'll come ashore.
It's going to be a brutal.
All right. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let me see if I can get this off. Let me see if I can get this off of here, guys.
For the Democrats beginning on.
Let me see if I can get this off of here. Good evening to you. Good evening, everybody. 13 minutes after the hour. 13 minutes after. I just had to start the show with that this evening. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. So where did the red wave go? What happened to the red wave? Where did the red wave go? It's a Chris Whilby show. But I had to start the program this evening with that. It is that montage of Fox News right-wing I don't want to call them crazies, but these news presenters, they were predicting a red wave. And what we saw wasn't even a red puddle. So what happened to the red wave? What happened to the red wave, ladies and gentlemen? Anyway, we gotta talk about that later on in the program. Good evening again. Welcome to everybody tuning in. Wherever you're tuning in from, I want to welcome you to the Chris Whilby Show. The Chris Whilby Show, where information and music exist in harmony. And this evening, we're gonna be playing some music from the 80s and early 90s. That's the music list I have for you this evening from the 80s and early 90s. That's love songs from the 80s and early 90s. How is everybody doing this evening? How is everybody doing this evening?
I came to see.
Don't forget to share the link, all right? We're here and we're ready to go. Let's go. Red wave, Schmed rave, shred wave, tread wave. Where did the red wave go? Boy, oh boy, I tell you, so many people missed it. The news media the Democrats, Republicans. You know, I have faith in the American people. My faith has been restored in humanity. I tell you.
Far ahead, you're calling to me. I can't hear what you've said. Then you say go slow. I fall behind. The second hand unwind. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. After my picture fades and darkness has turned to gray, watching through windows, you're wondering if I'm okay. Secrets stolen from deep inside. The drum beats out of time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. You said go slow, I fall behind. The second hand unwind. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. Time after time. Time after time. Time after time. Time after time.
Ah, yes, man. It is the Chris Whilby Show on a Caribbean Vibes Radio, Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. It's www.caribbeanvibesradio.com. If you are just joining us, I want to say welcome. And I hope that you will stick around with me. I'm going to be here until 10 o'clock this evening. And as you come on, don't forget, I'm asking you to share the link. It is love songs of the 80s and 90s.
Why do you lock yourself up in these chains? No one can change your life except for you. Don't ever let anyone step all over you. Just open your heart and your mind. Is it really fair to feel this way inside? Oh, someday somebody's gonna make you wanna turn around and say goodbye.
Wilson Phillips. Music from the 80s and 90s.
Hold on for one more day.
That's what we're giving you this evening. Love songs from the 80s and 90s.
Someday somebody's gonna make you wanna turn around and say goodbye.
It's the Chris Whilby Show
Baby, are you gonna
on the Big Bad Station.
cry? Don't you know? Things are changing.
Somebody said it's the Big Bad Station.
You're home.
With the Big Bad DJ
One more day, yeah.
playing all the Big Bad songs. Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, KVRN.
Don't you know? Things will change. Things will go your way. If you hold on for one more day. Oh.
Good evening and welcome, Sister Carol. How are you doing? Jacksonville is in the house. Jacksonville, Florida. How are you? Checking in. We hear that there was a, what was it? A tropical storm, or it wasn't really a hurricane. It was something, hurricane-ish. Because we know when the hurricane is landing. So there's something hurricane-ish was passing through. I guess you're fine. If you have the time to check in here, I guess you are okay. Richard Marks, waiting.
Station with the best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Oceans apart, day after day, and I slowly go insane. I hear your voice on the line, but it doesn't stop the pain. If I see you next to never, then how can we say forever? Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. Whatever it takes, or how my heart breaks.
This is Simone Myrie, director of Unite Jamaica Group, and you are listening to The Chris Whilby Show.
I took for granted all the times that I thought would last somehow. I hear the laughter, I taste the tears, but I can't get near you now. Oh, can't you see it, baby? You've got me going crazy. Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. Whatever it takes, or how my heart breaks, I will be right here waiting for you.
So, so ladies and gentlemen, Nick Cannon. You know where I'm going, right? Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon. Boy, oh boy. What more can I say? Somebody said that cannon does not fire blank. I heard somebody say that cannon does not fire blank, because Nick Cannon, ladies and gentlemen, he is just firing them off left, right, and center. And it seemed to me that the ladies are just lining up and just waiting for him. I mean, maybe this song is I'm playing this song at the right time. It's appropriate. I'll be right here waiting for you. It seems as if these ladies are right there waiting for Nick Cannon. Yeah? He's building a track. It is now number 12. We're gone off the we can't count them on two hands anymore. It's now number 12. Baby Mother number 12. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Cannon. Can anybody explain what is happening there? Is there something that did they sign a pack, or is what's happening? What's happening? I'm just a little bit I'm puzzled. But at the same time, I am kind of it's kind of interesting what's going on here. And I think that they all know something that we do not know. I am convinced that all of them in that little circle, they all know something that we do not know. Anybody can shed any light on what's going on in that little circle here with Nick Cannon? Just last week, he announced baby mother number 11, or baby number 11. And this week, he's announcing baby number 12. 8:32. At 8:45, we have issues affecting relationship, and this one here, ladies and gentlemen, is gonna be a crazy one. Trust me, it's not your normal issues affecting relationship. This one is gonna make you say, what? Yes. At 8:45. Stand by. It is love songs of the 80s and 90s.
let you leave without a trace. When I stand here,
These beats are hot. Hot, 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 hot. In the mix with the baddest DJ.
how can I just let you walk away? Just let you leave without a trace. When I stand here taking every breath with you. Ooh, you're the only one who really knew me at all. How can you just walk away from me when all I can do is watch you leave? 'Cause we've shared the laughter and the pain, and even shared.
Against all odds, Phil Collins.
You're the only one who really knew me at all.
It is love songs
So take a look at me now,
of the 80s and 90s.
an empty space. There's nothing left here to remind me, just the memory of your face. Oh, take a look at me now. Well, there's just an empty space, and you coming back to me is against the odds, and that's what I've got to face. I wish I could just make you turn around and see me cry. There's so much I need to say to you, so many reasons why. You're the only one who really knew me at all. So take a look at me now. Well, there's just an empty space, and there's nothing left here to remind me, just a memory of your face. Now take a look at me now, 'cause there's just an empty space. But to wait for you is all I can do, and that's what I've gotta face. Take a good look at me now, 'cause I'll still be standing here, and you coming back to me is against all odds. It's the chance I've gotta take. Take a look at me now.
Take a look at me. Take a look at me now. Against all odds, I tell you, yeah, man. It's Phil Collins right here. Right here on the Big Bad Station with the Big Bad DJ. Playing all the big bad songs. It's a Chris Whilby show where information and music exist in harmony. 8:41 and counting. I want to say good evening to you, those of you who are tuning in on the radio at CaribbeanVibesRadio.com. Those of you listening in on the radio app, I want to say good evening to you. And also those of you listening in on TuneIn Radio, I want to say good evening.
Empty space, and you coming back to me is
I must apologize for those of you who have been tuning in throughout the day today on the radio. We're having some technical difficulties with the radio. We hope to get that rectified in short order. But for the moment, we are experiencing some problems. So if you log on throughout the day, sometimes you may see that the radio is down. You'll probably get a notification saying negative error or something like that, but you probably won't be able to log on sometimes throughout the day. We're having some issues, so I want to apologize to the listeners on the website and also on the TuneIn app. We're live right now on the radio, but we were not live earlier today all day, and we've been trying from last night to get that rectified. So just so you know, we are aware of the problem and we are working on it. It is 8:43. At 8:45, we have issues affecting relationship. CaribbeanVibesRadio.com. The Chris Whilby Show.
Take a look at me now.
That is Phil Collins. Take a look at me now. That is against all odds. And why not? One Phil Collins deserve another, right? Yeah, I think so. This one, we're just gonna start it off, and then it's gonna take us right into issues affecting relationship and beyond.
I'm gonna take off, okay?
One more night. The beautiful, beautiful voice of Phil Collins at 8:44.
Been trying for so long to let you know how I feel. And if I stumble, if I fall, just help me back so I can make you see. Please give me one more night. Give me one more night. One more night. 'Cause I can't live forever.
It is now time for issues affecting relationships. IAR is aired on Caribbean Vibes Radio Network every Thursday at 8:45 p.m. The views expressed are not necessarily those of the management and staff of the station. The information presented in this segment are for educational and entertainment purposes. Now here's your host, Chris Whilby. All right, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is now 8:45 and time for issues affecting relationship. And this one here is one that is gonna later say, you're gonna say, what the heck was going on? Let me see if I can adjust my microphone. Excuse me here. Let me get this straight here. Yeah, you're gonna say, what the heck? Really? So, the headline here says, woman caught at airport security with boyfriend's ashes concealed. Let me read it again for you. Woman caught at airport security with boyfriend's ashes concealed in a sex toy. I think I can stop reading that. No, should I go further? The sex toy was given to Sarah Button, that's Button, Button, by her late boyfriend, which the law student claims to have worn while going through security in the United Arab Emirates, allegedly causing issues with staff. Now, to the meat of the matter. A woman was caught at airport security with her boyfriend's ashes concealed in a sex toy. Sarah Button told of her unusual experience on TikTok, where the video has racked up over 4.9 million views, leaving users stunned. The sex toy was a butt plug from the 23-year-old's late boyfriend, which the law student claims to have worn while going through security in the United Arab Emirates, allegedly causing issues with staff. Sarah from Australia said, "I explained what it was, but there was a lady worker in earshot of that conversation, which led to some back and forth between us, and the male officials did not like the vulgarity I was using to explain. They took me and my friend aside without much explanation." You think? She claimed airport security then took the group's passports and phones, and she was forced to call her dad to ring the Australian embassy for help. What? Sarah said an hour later, a big official came and had us sign a super long foreign document and said if we went outside of the airport, we'd go to jail. It was a long day. Moral of the story is, I was very ignorant of what I had in my bag and the words I used, their values, and I didn't realize explaining a plug would be violating the person that asked about it. The intention was initially a joke because he'd spent so much time in there and it was his favorite. Oh boy, oh boy. All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. It's a crazy world. I just thought for some strange reason I would share that one with you. But I started off the program. Anyway, that was issues affecting relationship for this evening. It's 8:49. I started off the program with a clip talking about the midterm elections and how it was, what do you call it? It was advertised, it was reported, it was talked about that we were going to get a blue wave or a blue tsunami. Nothing of the sort happened. So I'm going to play back this clip for you again, ladies and gentlemen, and just have some fun with it. We're just going to have some fun with it.
So did you hear the news? There was no red wave last night. While this is a pretty surprising development to most people, including us here at the desk, just imagine being a viewer of Fox News today after weeks of being promised one.
Be an analyst for a second. Does it feel like a red wave?
It feels like a red wave, Brian.
You know, your predictions of a red wave are accurate.
Let me stop there and let me play this again from the beginning for you.
So did you hear the news? There was no red wave last night. While this is a pretty surprising development to most people, including us here at the desk, just imagine being a viewer of Fox News today after weeks of being promised one.
Be an analyst for a second. Does it feel like a red wave?
It feels like a red wave, Brian.
You know, your predictions of a red wave are accurate.
Somebody made a surfboard, said the red wave is coming.
Red wave rising.
That red wave that I'm convinced is coming.
The reports I'm seeing show a big red wave coming.
Sleepy Joe just guaranteed a red wave in Pennsylvania.
There's a lot of energy on the ground. You probably hear the rally in the background right now. We think we're going to have a big red wave in Michigan.
Wow.
Democrats are bracing for the worst case scenario, a red tsunami.
We are officially on a red tsunami watch.
Sean, we're going to see a red tsunami.
Red tsunami grows.
That means red tsunami.
And we're not just going to see a red wave, we're going to see a red tsunami.
Poverty, joblessness, critical race theory, crazy gender ideology in our schools. We are going to see a red tsunami.
And lastly, your prediction for tonight.
I think we're going to have a red wave. I think it's going to be maybe bigger than anyone thought.
On Tuesday, we will be part of a big red wave that's...
Just so you know, this lady here on screen, this lady here, Lauren Boebert, that is talking about a red wave. a red tsunami. She is in the fight of her life to hold on to her seat. She's in the fight of her life to hold on, the political fight of her life, to hold on to her seat. So where is the red wave? Nothing of the sort happened. But that didn't stop them from talking about a red wave.
Says enough is enough.
Up next, Elon Musk ready to ride the big red wave.
Elon Musk tweeted massive red wave.
Massive red wave.
Massive red wave.
Massive red wave.
You're about to see a red wave that makes day after tomorrow look like nothing.
That's going to be responsible for the red wave. I think the red wave that's coming is going to be like the elevator doors opening up in The Shining.
All right, enough of that. Because I have to. Oh, Lord have mercy. So you would have heard that the Democrats, Congress is still undecided at this point. Yeah, Congress is still 2 days after the election. We're still counting votes in the United States of America, and we're still waiting to find out who is going to control Congress. But the red wave that they spoke about and they hyped, the media hyped, especially the right-wing media. I think they have somebody have an egg on their face this morning because there was no red wave. I wonder why that was. I think they need a do-over. One more night. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on the big red wave? Why it did not happen? What's your opinion? What is your opinion? Your take for that matter. Why was there no red wave? 77440888860 if you want to give me a call. In the meantime, it is 8:55 on the Big Bad Station. Red wave, shred wave. What red wave? It wasn't even a puddle.
The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
From a distance, the ocean meets the stream, and the eagle takes to flight. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the voice of hope. It's the voice of peace. It's the voice of every man. From a distance, we all have enough, and no one is in need. And there are no guns, and no disease, no hungry mouths to feed. From a distance, we are instruments marching in a common land, playing songs of hope, playing songs of peace. They're the songs of every man. God is watching us. God is watching us. God is watching us from a distance. From a distance, you look like my friend.
It is 9 o'clock right here on the Big Bad Station. Listening in to the Chris Whilby Show on Caribbean Vibes Radio and Network. We're playing love songs from the 80s and the early 90s, and right about now, you're in tune to Betty Midler. Betty Midler. How old do you believe Betty Midler is, ladies and gentlemen? How old do you believe Betty Midler is? Without running to Google, how old do you believe Betty Midler is? God is watching us. God is watching us absolutely from a distance. That's Betty Midler. Would you believe that Betty Midler is 76 years old? 76 years old. She was born in 1945. I tell you, beautiful, beautiful voice. And her most, I think her most popular song is Wind Beneath My Wings. Yeah, Wind Beneath My Wings. Betty Midler. And we continue with the show. This one here is from Chicago. 80s and 90s, easy listening.
This morning, told me about the new love you found. I said I'm happy for you. I'm really happy for you. Found someone else. I guess I won't be coming round. I guess it's over, baby. It's really over, baby. Whoa. And from what you said, I know you've gotten over me. It'll never be the way it used to be. So if it's gotta be this way, don't worry, baby, I can take the news, okay? But if you see me walking by and the tears are in my eyes, look away, baby, look away. And if we meet on the street someday and I don't know what to say, look away, baby, look away. Don't look at me, I don't want you to see me this way. When we both agreed as lovers, we were better off as friends. That's how it had to be. Yeah, that's how it had to be. I tell you I'm fine, but sometimes I just pretend. Wish you were holding me. Wish you were still holding me. Oh, I just never thought that I would be replaced so soon. I wasn't prepared to hear those words from you. I know I wanted to be free. Yeah, baby, this is how we wanted it to be. But if you see me walking by and the tears are in my eyes, look away, baby, look away. And if we meet on the street someday and I don't know what to say, look away, baby, look away. Don't look at me, I don't want you to see me this way. If you see me walking by and the tears are in my eyes, look away, baby, look away. And if we meet on the street someday and I don't know what to say, look away, baby, look away. Don't look at me, I don't want you to see me. You see me walking by and the tears are in my eyes, look away, baby, look away. Don't look at me, I don't want you to see me. They called me up this morning, told me about the new love you found. I said I'm happy for you, I'm really happy for you.
As we continue, easy listening, 80s and 90s.
Little time to think things over.
Another one from Foreigner.
In case I need it when I'm older. Now this mountain I must climb feels like the world upon my shoulder. Through the clouds I see love shine. It
yes, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We're gonna bring you some information right now, right? And according to Reuters, the control of the U.S. Congress is at stake still after we're entering into a third day now. 2 days after, control of U.S. Congress at stake as Arizona, Nevada labor to count their ballots. Now, I can't understand for the life of me how it is that in 2022 you still have some states that it's taking so long to count their ballots. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Why is Arizona taking so long? And that is why you end up with conspiracy theories. There is absolutely no reason for any state. I don't care. Their system that they're using, it's ridiculous that you have most states that are able to produce their election results by the end of the night on election day. But you have a few states that cannot finish counting. Arizona, the same thing happened in the general election, and the same thing is happening now. Michigan, why the heck can't these people get a system? Florida got it right. If there's one thing that Florida know how to do is count votes. Why can't they bring in the officials, get some expert advice from people in Florida and some other states who have gotten this thing right, so that you don't have to be taking days upon days upon days to count the ballots, and then you hear all kinds of conspiracy theories. It doesn't make sense. 2 days after Americans went to the polls, the political world remained on tenterhooks on Thursday, with both chambers of the U.S. Congress up for grabs as election officials painstakingly tallied hundreds of thousands of votes in a process that could take days to resolve. In a country like the United States of America, a first world country, it's nonsense. And I don't care what anybody wants to say. They have to find a way to get rid of these stupid, I call them stupid rules. I don't know what they're doing. Republicans have secured at least 211 House of Representatives seats. Edison Research projected just 7 shy of the 280 needed to seize control from Democrats and put an end to President Joe Biden's legislative ambitions. But 30 races are yet to be determined, including 19 of the most competitive, based on a Reuters compilation of the leading nonpartisan forecasters. The fate of the Senate, meanwhile, rests with a trio of fiercely contested states. Either party can win a majority by sweeping the races in Nevada, Arizona, where counting late arriving ballots is expected to last several more days. If those races don't deliver a majority for either party, Senate control will be decided in a runoff election in Georgia for the second time in 2 years. Democratic incumbent Raphael Warnock and Republican Herschel Walker will go one-on-one on December 6th after both fell just short on Tuesday of the 50% threshold needed to win outright. Though Republicans remained favored to take over the House, their performance on Tuesday was seen as underwhelming. Some Republicans blamed former President Donald Trump after some of his endorsed candidates, including celebrity surgeon Mehmet Oz of Pennsylvania, lost high-profile races. Trump's diminished brand could further encourage Florida Governor Ron DeSantis to challenge for the Republican presidential nominee in 2024 after he won re-election with a resounding majority on Tuesday. In a statement on Thursday, Trump took aim at his would-be rival, calling him Ron DeSanctimonious for a second time in recent days and taking credit for his political rise. The former president was expected to announce his third White House run next Tuesday, though the mercurial Trump could still change course. Even a slim House majority would allow Republicans to block Biden's priorities and launch investigation into his administration, while setting the stage for bruising battles over pressing matters like raising the nation's spending limit. A Republican Senate would hold sway over Biden's judicial appointments, including any potential Supreme Court vacancies. As ballots were tallied, Democrats expressed cautious optimism about both the Nevada and Arizona Senate races. In Nevada, Republican challenger Adam Laxalt, the state attorney general, clung to a lead of less than 2 percentage points, but his advantage over Democratic incumbent Catherine Cortez Masto has shrunk as ballots in populous Clark County, which includes Las Vegas, was counted. Arizona presented a mirror image. Democratic incumbent Mark Kelly has seen his margin over Republican challenger Blake Masters narrow since Tuesday, though he still led by more than 5 percentage points. Republican gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake, who has echoed Trump's false claims about voter fraud and whose race against Democratic Katie Hobbs remains too close to call, has accused Maricopa officials of dragging their feet deliberately, an allegation Gates called offensive. Everyone needs to calm down a little bit and tone the rhetoric down, said Gates, a Republican. Despite deep voter frustration over high inflation and Biden's low approval ratings, Democrats avoided the wipeout losses that the party in power has historically suffered in a president's first midterm election. That was due in part to anger over the Supreme Court's decision to eliminate a nationwide right to abortion, and which led to Republican-backed bans in more than a dozen states. Women in America made their voices heard, Biden said at a political event in Washington. The president had also framed the election as a test of U.S. democracy at a time when hundreds of Republican candidates embraced Trump's false claim that the 2020 presidential election was stolen. So at this hour, 18 minutes after 9 o'clock on November 10th, we're still waiting to hear who is going to control the Senate and the U.S. House. What a something. Let's get back to some more music. '80s and '90s love songs. Easy listening on Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. 22 minutes after 9. Rick Ashley coming up. Never gonna give you up. It's music from the 80s and 90s. Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. Covering the globe like no one else can. Big up yourself, Mr. Morgie. Welcome, my brother. How you doing? How you doing? Are you safe over there in Florida?
It's never changing. Can't you hear me? I'm saying I want you for the rest of my life. Together forever and never to pass. Together forever we two. And don't you know I would move heaven and earth to be together forever with you. Together forever and never to pass. Together forever we two. And don't you know I would move heaven and earth to be together forever with you. Together forever and never to pass. Together forever we two. And don't you know I would move heaven and earth to be together forever
All right, let's say a word. Big up yourself, man.
Every breath you take and every move you make, every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching.
So Florida has become a very, very deep red state. Ruby red. So Democrats can take their minds off winning Florida for any time in the near future. Not gonna happen.
I'll be watching you. Oh, can't you see?
For years, Florida has been like a fool's gold for Democrats. They've been chasing Florida, thinking that Florida is a swing state. Ron DeSantis just put that thing to rest. He cleaned their clocks. There is no doubt in my mind, or there shouldn't be any doubt in anybody's mind, that Florida is a Republican state. Not a swing state, not a purple state, but a full, deep, blood red state. Good evening, you are live on the radio. How are you?
Good evening, Chris.
How are you doing?
I had to call in after you made that big up for Ron DeSantis and the red state that Florida is.
Oh, I touch a nerve.
Yeah. No, I know your fault still, but I just want them to know what Ron DeSantis did to get Florida all red. First of all, they changed up a zoning thing in Florida, and the way they switched the map, the zoning map, it changed everything just about.
Yeah,
And
the gerrymandering.
What did you say?
The gerrymandering. With
Exactly.
the voting. They put it in favor of the Republicans.
Exactly. Also, Florida is a service state. Nobody in Florida gets the day off to vote. Now, even if you take some time off your employment to vote, that time off is used against you if you are a hourly worker. So they'll give you the time off, to go and vote. But it's used against you because you don't get paid for that time.
Oh.
So the way they design Florida is a way where voting is not easy for persons who don't make advanced preparation. I vote early because I can't deal with all of the craziness on election day. Not that I'm saying you find craziness to get in and vote, but you have to really make a plan down here, in other words, to vote. You have to plan it, because if you don't plan it, you're going to miss it. The other thing in Florida is I didn't even see one sign where I'm at that says Charlie Chris. So the average, for example, non-political person, which I was once, we don't know, they don't educate themselves about the mid-election. They don't understand how important it is, mid-elections are. I didn't understand it at one point. So a lot of Democrats, a lot of black voters don't turn up for mid-elections. They don't show up for mid-elections. And the other thing that DeSantis did in Florida, and thank God I'm here, he gave out a lot of sweets,
Oh.
He gave out a lot of sweets, meaning that you can get free food in Florida all when you're as rich as anything.
Oh, really?
They're looking for people to give them food. I get a thing the other day on my phone, go and pick up food. And I'm like, huh?
Mr. Morgan, you not get no food?
Eh?
I'm asking Mr. Morgan. He's from Florida too. So I'm asking if you don't get no food, no free food.
I don't know down Florida beginner, so let me just clarify too. I don't know down south, but I know up in the Jacksonville area,
Yeah.
so many freeness was given away. Out of the blue, one time teachers just get $1,000 extra for them salary. Out of the blue. Not stimulus, not nothing, just an extra 1,000 sent to all teachers. They do a lot of things to bribe people.
Well, if that is the case, he's taking care of the people, so the people want him in power. So, because governing is supposed to be about looking out for the people, the less fortunate, and if he's giving people money and helping out people with food, and that's what government is supposed to do.
Correct.
So,
but I do agree with that. But I'm just saying, all of it is, it's the game. That's why I don't do politics normally, because it's just the political game. Just a political game.
Yeah.
But yeah, half of those Spanish people in Miami vote for the Republicans. And I'm like, why are the Spanish people voting Republicans?
The Cubans,
for Republicans,
especially the Cubans, the Cubans. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I probably would have to talk to a Cuban, but I would think that I don't know. I think they believe that the Democrats, because they are told that the Democrats are communist. And because they are coming from communists and they hate communism, that's why they associate, because the Republicans are very good at messaging. They're very good at messaging. They're very disciplined when it comes to messaging. And so they can brainwash you in a minute. And so these people who come over from Cuba, they are brainwashed. The first set of people who came are brainwashed that Democrats are communist party and socialist. And so they don't want to have anything to do with the socialism because of what it has done to them in their country. And then this first batch that comes in will convince the other batches that are coming in.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm hearing myself talking in the background.
Oh, you're hearing yourself in the background? Yeah. Sorry. Are you hearing yourself still?
No.
Okay. Yeah. You see? So most of when you see a Republican win anything and win anything at a large scale, there is always some Chikini, I call it, thing going on. Would you know this man went and locked up people right before the election? And these are voters that they had gone to prison, and before the last election, they told them once they do their time, they're able to vote. So again, these people, out of ignorance, just took the word for it, went, and they allowed them to vote in the general election. And this man, DeSantis, went last month, I think it was, and captured locked up about 40 of them, calling it that they voted fraudulently. And most of the people were so surprised, and even one guy is like, I did what? And why would you allow me to vote if I wasn't allowed to vote? All of a sudden we are hearing that depending on the amount of the type of crime that they committed, even though they did their time, they were not supposed to vote. Nobody knew that. I didn't even know that. And I listen to the news every day. I heard when they say if the people do their time, they can vote. And then just last month, and one guy was saying, why now? September. You locking them up, talking about they voted fraudulently. So the little chickini things they do in Florida to win points, it's not a state I'm proud of when they win elections, because it's always a whole lot of chickeny craziness. And if you're a black person like me, you would have voted. I would have voted. If voting was so difficult for me to do, I would have voted. Usually when Republicans win, it means the Democrats, especially the black vote, they did not go out to vote. Because anytime the black people show up to vote, I'm talking about Republican winning. When black people show up to vote, Democrats always win, And again, I just want to say one last thing. You are correct on the messaging. We got the messaging in this Republican town that I am in. I wouldn't even know that it's Charlie Crist running against DeSantis. I don't even, you know what I mean? No, you don't see one sign with his name on it. You see DeSantis
is
name
all over
the place.
But no Charlie Crist.
No Chris. And if you don't have time to watch TV in the daytime, you very rarely see anything about him. You don't know much about him. So the Democrat messaging is weak. It's weak. And the other thing I want to say is everybody is convinced that it is the president why the inflation is up. And American people are fickle. Them say a little food price raise, and all of a sudden them are going to vote for the other party, not realizing it is a sabotage. It's corporate greed why all these food prices and oil prices gone up.
Yes.
The gas companies made $10 billion in profit in the past 6 months. $10 billion in profit in the past 6 months, the gas companies.
Yeah.
Why? And they're telling you that it's war and COVID, why oil prices rise. No, corporate greed so that they can make $1 billion in profit per month. And using that to stop. But the Democrats didn't come back to us and give us that education. That education is not out there, that it's corporate greed that is promoting the prices to be so high. It's not Biden, it's not even a war. They see an opportunity
hang on a second
and they
for me.
take the opportunity.
Hang on a second for me, Carol. Hang on. Okay, go ahead.
They see the opportunity to raise things and they take the opportunity to raise things. These billion-dollar companies, you think they have to raise up chicken so high and raise up fish so high? And what they do is when they make the economy bad, they know that's the only hope for Republicans to gain it back, to gain back the vote.
Right.
Just make the economy terrible. And I believe that if they ever win the House and if they ever win the Senate, things are going to be horrible for us until the next general election, because they're going to constantly raise prices. Why are they raising prices? I believe Joe is taxing them.
Yeah.
When the Republican Party is in, these billionaires have zero tax. Zero. They pay zero tax. So when Joe comes in now and tax them, they put it back off on the consumer and raise up the price of everything because they own all the big companies. And then it's almost like a spite. They spite him back by putting it on the consumer. And the consumer who isn't educated looks at the economy and say, oh, the economy is so bad under the Democrats, I'm going to go back and vote Republican.
Yeah.
And the game continues. And you can't even blame the consumer for wanting the prices to go down. But if you're educated, you will understand the game. And he said, Joe, I'm going to tax them some more. The more he taxes them, the higher they raise prices. So we're in this loop, which is so sad. I don't even know. I just hope and pray.
Hang on a second. I'm getting a call. I got another
Go
call.
ahead.
Hang on a second. Hang on. Hello, you're live on the radio.
So we're in this loop, which is so sad. I don't even know.
All right. It seems as if we were getting Anyway, thanks to Carol. I'm sorry you got disconnected. I tried answering another call there. Sorry about that. Yeah, I agree with Carol. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. You're live on the radio. Good evening.
Yeah, this is the Chris Whilby show.
Yes, sir. You want to? Can you turn your radio down in the background, please? We're getting a feedback. Hello.
All right. You hear me clearly?
I'm hearing you. Yes.
All right. So I was listening to your call a while ago.
Yes.
And I'm slightly on a different how would I say, different wavelength.
Okay, go ahead. Share your point.
All right. First thing I'll say is that policies matter, and if you pursue bad policies, then it's gonna make life hard for the citizens. All right. First up, climate change is one, right? It's a policy that the Democrats pursued. But we can't all drive electric vehicles immediately. It has to be a gradual process. So the Green New Deal policy, bad policy. And it has had an impact on oil prices. Would you agree?
I'm hearing you. I'm listening to you.
All right. Ron DeSantis, during the pandemic, he had how would I say? He had the option to make the vaccine mandatory. He did not do that.
Right.
While other people were losing their jobs in other states, he allowed the people to choose for themselves or to pursue the other, I think they call it antibodies, the other type of treatment. He did that. That's a big win for him right there. All right. To force us, people naturally have and if you're a student of history, you would agree that people are naturally going to be, how would I say, suspicious.
Yes.
Of vaccines.
Skepticism. They're going to be skeptical. Yes.
Good. Naturally, I'm skeptical. And if you go back to when they were testing the syphilis on the I think it was I don't remember which state it was, but they were testing syphilis on the black male population under the guise of giving them vaccines. So people are going to be naturally suspicious. All right? Another big major point, this whole thing of gender and sex education on kids. Ron DeSantis said that, listen, leave that out of his policy was to leave it out of the school system and allow parents to discuss that at home. That's another win for him right there. We should not be talking to young kids about certain topics. Fair enough?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Yep, I'm listening. I'm going to make my point after you're done, but I'm listening to what you're saying.
Good. So policies matter. Abortion, another major thing. All right? That's another policy that DeSantis went the other way on. And I agree with that. At some point, I can understand if there are extenuating circumstances. Like, for example, if a mom has 2 kids already and the pregnancy may end her life, I can deal with that. But to just have it open-ended, no limit to it, you can just go 6 months, 8 months. That type of policy is too far gone. So when it came down to the key issues, DeSantis made the right call. And that's a major factor in why he won this election.
All right. So we only have a few minutes. It's 9:48, and I have to get out of here at 10 o'clock. So let me just respond to you, and I'll take your last point first. You spoke on the issue of abortion, and the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, which had given protection to women for decades, right? From so that they are protected. It was a constitutional right for the women to have access to abortion. Now, abortion, in my opinion, is a very, very personal issue between a woman and her family, her doctor, and her God. A woman, no politician should be, in my opinion, in a woman's, should be helping to make any decision where that is concerned. And here is why I say that. Because it's something that you have to dissect and you have to think about it carefully. A lot of people look on abortion as they look at it simply from a political standpoint, or they look at it from a right to life standpoint. And they say that the female, the baby, or the whatever it is called in the womb, is a life and need to be protected. That is the argument that is made. Now, I am going to ask you this question. Some Republicans would like for abortions to be banned outright. No exception. A lot of Republicans. No exceptions at all. Some say it should be banned and only in the exception if the mother's life is in danger. Now, what about if a 10-year-old is raped? Because this happens, right? This is not hypothetical. This is something that is happening, has happened, and will continue to happen. A 10-year-old getting raped, getting pregnant from that rape. How would we want that to be handled? Do we now say, okay, you have to force a 10-year-old to carry a baby? Because if you say abortion is, if you have an abortion, you're killing a baby. It means, therefore, that if you allow that 10-year-old to do that abortion, it is killing a human being. So you would then force a 10-year-old to go carry that baby, and then that 10-year-old's life is now destroyed because a 10-year-old is a baby, and that 10-year-old will have to carry that.
Would I be allowed to reply?
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
All right. First point I'm going to make is any ideology that operates on the extreme is dangerous. So that is why I said from the outset that I can work with certain exceptions. The Roe v. Wade, right? Remember, the Roe v. Wade being overturned. What they did was simply to send it back to the states,
right,
to decide. Good. So the overturning it's not a foregone conclusion. So I accept. However, this is the part where we like to play games. This whole push on abortion, the agenda, has nothing to do with the extenuating circumstances. The reality of it is that the agenda is for it to be open-ended.
And when you say open-ended, what do you mean?
In the whole abortion argument, my major problem is with late term. When you read the bills that and the agenda that they're pushing, it's the late term abortions that I have a problem.
All right, let me just pause for a minute there, and we're gonna have this conversation. Let me just pause you for a minute there. And I'm just gonna ask you this one question, and I want you to think about it and answer it seriously.
Yeah.
Do you believe that a woman is going to get pregnant, carry her baby for 7-8 months, and then out of the blues just decide that, hey, I'm just going to change my mind and I'm not going to carry this baby? For some reason, they just have they were carrying this baby they had the opportunity to abort the baby if they wanted to from 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4, 5, and you carry that baby within you until it reach 8 months or 7 months. And then you just decide, the woman just decide that, hey, or the family just decide that I am not going to carry this baby through. Do you believe that really happened?
Yes, they will do it. And my point is this. The same way you're willing to look at the other nuances for why abortion should be allowed, we should also look at the nuances to protect that baby, a 6-7 month baby, from that mother who would make that choice.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing that I am having the problem with, because I am not a woman, and I have never been pregnant. I cannot get pregnant. I don't know what it feels like to be pregnant. I don't know what it feels like to carry a child within me. So it is very difficult for me as a man to try to dictate to a woman what to do with her body, because here is where I come down on it. That baby cannot survive, or that fetus cannot survive without the mother. It has to depend on the mother. So, and I believe that, I do not believe that any woman is going to get pregnant, get emotionally attached to a baby, carry it for 8 months, and then decide that, hey, I'm just going to go abort it. I believe that there has to be a very serious reason why any woman would go through all of that, and then at the very late, it has to be some form of emergency or very difficult situation why that woman decided that they cannot. And number one, doctors. I don't know of any doctor who is going to perform an abortion, a late-term abortion, without any medical necessity.
Well, no
If you-
disrespect. You
if
have
you-
not been living in this world. You have not been living in this world. I
Maybe-
know there are people that will do it.
maybe,
They will.
maybe, and I'm not saying maybe.
I know there are people, and remember that the law has to take in account all the possibilities.
Right.
So, as I'm saying, if the Roe v. Wade kicks it back to the states, fair enough, no problem. Right? The other part of it is I have a problem with late-term abortions.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Why put it in the bill? That it's a part of a deeper agenda.
And what is the agenda?
Basically, the way I'm seeing it right now, erode all rules. We should be able to just do anything we feel like doing without any consequence. And I don't go for that. The child at 6, 7 months, the child is already formed, and it's a crime to me to kill that baby. It's a human being. You had how many, a month or 2 or whatever?
Did you know that Republicans are gonna go after contraceptive next because some of them believe that contraceptives is a form of abortion? Do you know that?
Remember, I said to you, any ideology that operates in the extreme is a problem. So what I'm saying is, we need, how would I say, moderation. It can't be just Democrat or liberalism to the extreme, because you have extreme people on both sides. And those of us who believe in, you cannot say, oh, no abortion wholesale. That would be crazy. And that
No,
would be
but I don't
stupid.
think that, because here is what I don't think, because Roe v. Wade, during Roe v. Wade, abortion was legal, and people were able to conduct their abortions legally. What will happen if you decide that, because you have because the Republicans have signaled that if they get the House and the Senate and maybe the White House in the future, what they will do is do a national abortion ban. And at 15 weeks, they say they would want to do the ban. Now, most women don't even know that they are pregnant at a certain age. You know what I mean? At certain, it's just a fact that some women
Fair enough.
will not. So what the Republicans really want is to outlaw abortions. Majority of Republicans want to outlaw abortions. Now,
and the last reason before I run away, right? There's another aspect of the conversation that needs to be had. I'm actually I'm a social science teacher, and I dabble in demographics.
Right.
There's another spectrum of the argument to explore, that abortions negatively impact the, how would I say, black community.
I hear that argument, yes. I hear that argument.
And so what I'm saying is,
but
we can look at the nuances, but I still come down to the fact where if there are extenuating circumstances that are genuine, then fair enough.
But who's going to decide that? Because you see, that is where as you say, the nuances.
Kick it back to the states.
Yeah, but the state.
Decide.
Yeah, but when the state. This is where the problem comes in, my brother. With all due respect, a lot of people will feel as if, okay, you can allow the politicians to make these decisions, right? once the politicians make
No,
these
I don't
decisions
believe in
and
that.
and the yeah, but
This should be a referendum matter.
like
If we're
put
gonna
it
kick it back
like
to
put
the
it
states,
like
it must be a referendum.
like put it on the ballot. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about even having a referendum, right? A lot of times, because as you say, it's a nuanced matter, and it's something that people take personal. But at the same time, people will go overboard with some of these things, and people will end up dying, because even in some of these cases right now, some of these states, it is causing people to leave. People with emergency, like the little girl, the 10-year-old girl from Ohio, had to leave and to go to somewhere else, and whatever. She was raped, and a whole lot of whatever.
Fair enough.
Right, they had to cross state lines because they had this abortion. So, as you say, moderation is the key. So I really thank you for your call.
And a major problem right now is the how would I say? America has become like Jamaica politically. See, there used to be, back in the days, there used to be a greater amount of bipartisanship.
Yeah. No, you just have everybody in one corner, someone in one extreme and one in the other extreme.
What is happening now, it has gone down into a partisan thing. So where you have red and blue states. But as I've said, and as you agree, we need moderation.
I agree with it.
We can't abort the baby too late. And we can't say, okay, if you're raped, we're going to force you to carry the child.
Right.
But if it came down to it, to where the pendulum would swing, I would still go with, looking at all the things and knowing what I know, I would still go on the side of banning it. Because
banning abortion outright.
I would prefer moderation and good common sense to prevail. But if we can't have that, I would still go with banning it, because I believe that serves the greater good.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for your call. Where are you calling from?
Right here in Jacksonville, Florida.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate your call, my brother.
All right.
All right. God bless you. Keep on listening, man. Thank you. Very good discussion. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we gone a little bit over our time, but really had to finish that discussion. Very, very interesting debate there and the discussion. I wish I had more time to go into some of the other discussion with the caller. And yes, caller, I hope that you will continue to listen to the Chris Whilby Show, and we can debate these points, and we may not agree, may respectfully disagree. But one thing, before I go, caller made some very good points. Not that I am in agreement with them, but talking about moderation and coming together and making laws, sensible laws. I personally do not believe that we should, and this is just my opinion, and we can disagree on it. I do not believe that we should, any government should determine what a woman can do with her body. What doctors can do. In other words, the woman, any decision when it comes to health should be between a woman, her doctor. The politicians should not be able to make any laws governing a woman's body. That's my opinion on it. Because once you start doing that, you're going down a very, very slippery slope. And it means, therefore, that you are not free. And the women of America just kind of voted against, because everybody was talking about, when I started the show, I started with the tsunami ad, where everybody was talking about the red tsunami that was coming. And I believe it is the fact that women would want to have their personal freedom and their personal choices when it comes to making that decision. I would not want my daughter to want to make a decision about her body and cannot make it because the government says you can't. The government is mandating that you cannot make this decision with your body. I understand, believe me when I say it, I understand. This is something that I have thought about. I'm not just coming here and just blabbing my mouth. This abortion issue, it's very personal, it's very real. Most people who make these decisions, they just don't go around and make it just out of like that. And one of the things, if I had a longer time to talk to the caller, I would say to the caller, is that most Republicans, they say they are pro-life. But the only time that they are pro-life is when the baby is in the mother's womb. So therefore, in my opinion, they are not pro-life, they are pro-birth. Because the minute they will force the woman to carry that baby, irrespective of the circumstances, irrespective of the mother's health, irrespective of the baby's health, they will force the mother to carry that baby to full term, and the minute the mother pushes out that child, they will not lift a finger. They do not want to give it health care. They do not want to give it food and assistance. They do not want to help with a clothing. They do not want to help with housing. They do not want to assist that child. They will tell you that it's not a welfare state. You must pull yourself up by your bootstrap. Go and find a job to take care of that child. A Republican will tell you that. And they will, if you cannot take care of the child will be taken from you and put in foster homes. There are right now over 400,000 children in foster homes in the United States, across the United States right now, in foster homes. These children will never live a normal life. And you hear people talking about adoption. That adoption is something that they should consider adoption. Who is lining up to adopt these babies that these women are having? Ain't nobody lining up for them. So there's a whole lot of things going on here, and I understand the right to life, because Republicans are pro-birth because they're the first to deny access to care. They do not want health care, proper health care. Most of the Republican state, this is a fact. I live in a blue state in Massachusetts that they call a blue state, and we have the number one health facilities. We have the number one health care in the country. If you go to Alabama and all of those states, the red states, it's terrible, it's atrocious. And they play politics with these things. They do not want to expand Medicare. They do not want to expand Medicaid because they feel that the government is spending too much money on these things. But yet, if there is a war, it's open-ended and they will find money to push into these wars. But these people, citizens of the country. They will not do anything. Republicans will not do anything to lift a finger because welfare, nope, no welfare. Get up, go look a job. I have no problem with people getting up and go looking a job. None, zero problem. I have never gone on welfare in this country. I do not know what it is like. I have always worked in this country. But there are persons who sometimes just need a little bit of assistance, just need a little bit of a help. And majority of Republicans, every program that is there to assist the poor, they tear it down. They do not want to have any form of social program that is going to assist the poor. And that is a fact. So they want to force women to carry babies. And majority of the people who want to force women to carry babies are men. Men want to force women to carry babies. I am neither pro-abortion nor anti-abortion because I cannot have an abortion. I leave that up to the women and their doctors. I am neither pro-abortion, so let me make that clear, absolutely clear. I am neither pro-abortion nor anti-abortion. I am for women to make their own decisions with their own bodies. They know best, them and their doctors, and that is where I'm going to have to leave it this evening. Thank you very, very much. I way over my time. Have a good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. And don't forget that this Sunday I will be back at 6 o'clock, from 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock with Divine Praise. Have yourselves a fantastic night. Thank you again, caller. And I hope that you will call again because you sound like somebody who I would really, really love to have a discussion with. You sound like you have the issues well thought out, and it's called